call the Rotary Bangalore meeting to order. As is customary with Midtown, we started with the silent invocation to the Almighty. I request you all to get into a silent invocation. Thank you. I take this opportunity to welcome one and all on this momentous evening. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. It's a privilege to have Dr. Rangesh Paramesh with us on this evening, talking about a very important subject, the holistic approach to Ayurveda. Thank you, Midtowners. We have quite a few past presidents who are guiding me in this sojourn of mine in this particular year. Thank you so much. We'll have a formal introduction a lot later to Dr. Rangesh Paramesh. I thank him for being here. I move on to the President's announcements, the birthdays that we have in the month of November and December. We have Rotarian Vinay Cordia on 24th November, past President Rotarian Atul Kaushal, 25th of November. He's holding fort at the ICGF that is happening, representing the occasional services at the district today. Past President Rotarian Kunja has his birthday on 6th December. So we have quite a few of our Rotarians who entered the chariot of life together, the marriage, in the month of November and December. So starting with our own PDG Rotarian B.R. Vishwanath Shetty and Mukta on 24th November. Past President Rotarian M.G. Pramod and Aarti Pramod on 27th November. Past President Rotarian Kiran Baul and Chandrika Baul on the 30th. Rotarian Dr. Gunashekar Uppalapatti and Rajini on the 4th of December. Rotarian Deepak Poddar and Sangeeta Poddar on the 4th of December. Past President Rotarian Uday Masturlal, Sejal Masturlal on the 5th. Puneet Jalan and Sangeeta Jalan on the 6th of December. Yeah. So November, December happens to be, I think, marriages and birthdays galore. Yeah. Friends, we also have a very important event today, induction of a new member. It's quite some time since Rotary Midtown had a new member, and there is special focus on how to empower the women force within Rotary Bangalore Midtown. So we have had two Rotarians already, Sheetal and Rupa, who are kind of doing wonders at Rotary. So we have another women joining the women force of Rotary today. It's my pleasure to introduce Dayanandini Akarsh, married to Mr. Akarsh Somshekar, mother to Aryan Aditya, who's pursuing a degree of business and entrepreneurship in US at the moment. Suyash Akarsh is another son. She comes from a space of, before I get into the space of, it's very difficult to separate real estate and Rotary Bangalore Midtown. Right? So she comes from the very space. She's a partner at Infinix Palladium, Infinix Square, Daya Associates, who deal with land and in specific commercial projects. She is a Bachelor of Science and holds a master's degree in computer applications. So I would welcome Dayanandini Akarsh to the Rotary Midtown family. New member kit. Can I request our Rotarian Rupa Mauli to come up on stage to pin the new member? also a philanthropist, a very noble soul, always connected to initiatives that can change lives of the marginalized. He wants to speak for a moment, a few lines from her, please.
Yeah. Dear Midtowners, I am truly honored to now say fellow Midtowner. It is a privilege to be part of such an extraordinary club. For years, I have admired the achievements of this group and remain in awe of its remarkable legacy. This opportunity to contribute to the lives of the underprivileged and marginalized, guided by Midtown's visionary leadership, is something I deeply cherish. Having closely followed the impactful projects undertaken by Midtown, I am inspired to step forward and share my humble support. I am particularly impressed by the Windows of Opportunities program, which bridges the gap for marginalized communities, connecting them to vital government benefit schemes. The immense social return on investment from this initiative is nothing short of remarkable. With this in mind, I am delighted to announce my commitment of 25 lakhs over the next 4 months, beginning with an initial contribution of 5 lakhs. I look forward to working together with all of you to drive a meaningful change and continue building on Midtown's incredible legacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nandini. So we just spoke about an impact, and here you are with a bang. Thank you so much. Over to our secretary to make his announcements of the upcoming events of the month.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening. We don't want to steal the thunder from Dr. Rangesh. We will not take too much time. We'll quickly finish this. Midtown is all about events every month. You know how many projects we've been doing. So it's appropriate for me to share with all of you so that you could participate in some of these events. On 25th of November, we have an eye camp and a CPR training at Swami Vivekananda Vidyashala. From 20th of November, we have already started this a couple of days ago. From 20th till 4th of December, we've been having the CPR training program continuously every day at SSMRV College. We are really immensely thankful to Rotarian AVS Murthy. Thank you very much, sir, for getting us this opportunity to do this at SSMRV College. What, 2,000? 2,000 or 3,000? 2,000 students are being trained on CPR at SSMRV College, right? And you all remember at the beginning of this year, we started this initiative of CPR training to conduct this in most of the educational institutions. So this is something that we are glad that it's going in the right way. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. On 3rd of December, we are having a multi-health camp at RK Samagra Shikshana Kendra at Kalena Grahara. On 13th of December, we are planning an auction come sale of paintings from Mrs. Badrunissa Irfan at Hotel Conrad. Recently she was kind enough to speak to Palani and tell him that, look, there are a number of paintings that are available, and we would like for you to conduct an auction and use the proceeds of this for any of our projects. So we are extremely happy because of our gesture. So that is something that we have scheduled on 13th of December. Of course, there will be multiple reminders, but it will be good if all of you can take time to participate in all these events. Thank you.
So we have a few updates on some of the major projects that have happened in this month and happening in the next fortnight as well. One of the projects that Midtown is so proud of is the scoliosis project. And thank you so much, Bhagwan Mahavir Jain Hospital and Dr. Mahesh Bijwara for the opportunity. We have to remember that a wonderful contribution was made by our Rotarian Bimal Desai to the tune of around 75 lakhs. A total contribution of around 80 lakhs has gone from our club, and many more people are coming forward for contributions. This is a life-changing initiative, I should say, for people whose spines are deformed, and at a very early age, when the corrective surgery is done, they actually go on to live lives like anybody else and become very productive citizens of this country. Another important development was the visit to the project Nemmadi site. we had none other than our past president, Irfan Razak, spending almost half a day from his very busy schedule, coming to the site, endorsing the views of the project, the visions of the project. His support is so paramount for a project of this scale and magnitude to succeed. So it was wonderful to have him. And like is known of Irfan Bhai, he has actually made a very large commitment to kind of help us both in material as well as in cash. We also had a wonderful initiative that got unveiled, and I have to thank our Rotarian Seema for this. It is the Human Milk Bank at St. John's. So through our good office with MCKS, we launched the Human Milk Bank. Many lives of neonatal premature births are going to kind of change, and human milk is such a vital component in the survival of preterm births. So we are partnering with a premier health organization, St. John's, and we are coming up with a milk bank. So we signed the MOU, the launch has happened, and in the next 2 months, we are likely to have the bank ready. Another important project is the Windows of Opportunity project. You heard our very new Midtowner talk about that project and how the impact, about the kind of impact the project is happening. We are connecting 50,000 people from the marginalized and the underprivileged community to thousands of government schemes that they otherwise may not have had access to. And we are helping them connect with multiple schemes. The social return on index, as the term goes, is supposed to be close to around 100x. So for the 50 lakhs that Midtown has committed, you can easily take a social return on investment of 50 crores. That is, we are unlocking the national treasury or the government funds that were meant for these underprivileged through the money and the time and the effort that we are spending. So that's the projects for you. We're coming to the most important event of the day. It's my pleasure, my privilege to introduce the speaker. So before we get into the speaker introduction, I had one of our past presidents ask me, hey, most of your speaker meets is revolving around health. Yes, sir. Now, Rotarians, they are the ambassadors of change. They are the beacons of hope. And for an organization of Rotary's capability to work, it is only the Rotarians who can carry forward. Without Rotarians, no Rotary, right? And for Rotarians, again, the health is such an important factor, and the board, guided by the visionary leader, said, let most of the programs be around the health of Rotarians to the extent possible, and it may actually be a win-win situation. One is, we are getting informed about it, and if it is bettering the health of Rotarians, why not? So most of our speaker meets have revolved around health, and in the same context, we have today Dr. Rangesh Paramesh. As modest as he is, the introduction still will be close to a minute. So growing up under Ayurveda care from a very early age, he went through training in Gurukula method under a famous Rasavaidya Ayurveda Ratna, BSV Pandit, had a formal degree, BSAM and MD Ayurveda in Ayurvedic pharmacology and pharmaceutics. Began his career as a university teacher in Karnataka at Government Ayurveda Medical College in Bengaluru and Mysuru in the fields of Ayurvedic pharmacology and pharmaceutics, research methodology and medical statistics, as well as being a research guide to more than 20 postgraduates for over 13 years. Worked as an Ayurveda consultant and was involved in establishing Ayurveda clinics in Switzerland, Germany, Italy, and the UK. Has conducted periodic Ayurveda seminars in the European Union, UK, Mauritius, Middle East, Latin, Asian, and the Far East for physicians in the Western medicine, regulatory authorities, and in the ministries of health across the globe, and for business executives and for the lay public like us. Thank you so much, sir. He joined the R&D Center of Himalaya Wellness Company, formerly known as Himalaya Drug Company, as a medical advisor, rose to a senior level, led drug discovery teams in Bengaluru, and then moved to Dubai as a global chief scientific officer, and now the director of the intellectual property wing of Himalaya Wellness. He has served the company for more than 25 years. He has co-authored 5 chapters on Ajirna, Vibandha, Amlapitta, Grahani, and Pravavika in scientific basis of Ayurvedic therapies, CRC Press, Florida, USA. has authored more than 35 research articles in diverse fields from herbal authentication, phytochemistry, and experimental pharmacology, including in silico studies to human clinical and animal field trials. Dr. Rangesh was conferred fellowship of the Royal Asiatic Society, London in 1993. He was bestowed with the Purna Swasthya Award from the World Federation of Societies of Holistic Medicine, Italy in 1991, the Hamsa Puraskara Award from Hamsa Jyoti, Bangalore in 1999, and the Occasional Excellence Service Award from Rotary Club of Bangalore Orchards for the highest ethical standards, excellence, and integrity in the Ayurveda medical practice. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. A very warm welcome to you. May I request our Rotarian Amita Pandey to welcome him with a bouquet.
Honorable President Mr. Barney and the esteemed Rotarians of the Midtown. At the outset, we are very thankful to Mr. Palani for giving us this opportunity to share with you an aspect that he posed me a question saying that, could you talk on Ayurveda? I said, in Ayurveda, it's very difficult to talk, just like that. So what do you want particularly in Ayurveda? Few herbs. And then their benefits and scientific research and all that. Then I asked him, do you think that herbs means Ayurveda? Yeah, that's what we understand. Oh, so then there is disconnect somewhere. So I thought, then we had an interaction saying that, if you want Ayurveda per se or Ayurvedic medicine per se, so there are two different things. I want you to differentiate between them. So then I said, then he said, please combine everything and give us a perspective of what exactly is this. Good. So that was an opportunity given. So then I said, Ayurveda, a way of life. So when people identify me as an Ayurvedic physician, immediately they start, I have this problem, that problem, this treatment, that treatment, here, there, everywhere. Thankfully, if you look at it from last couple of decades to in the recent times, it has made a big boom and bang. Thankfully to the Honorable President, Prime Minister of India, who has given a lot of impetus to this. There is a ministry and so on, so on, so on. And not only this, because before he ventured into it, and as you could see that the interest to this science was actually brewing out in the world than here. Well, it has now been coming together, and a lot of India and the rest of the world getting interacted to that, and what India is to offer, apart from IT, is the next one is this one to be. when we say, can you recognize this? Pardon me? Starry sky. Okay. Anything else? Hubble telescope. Yes. Okay. Desert. Oasis. Yes, you can see that. Well, the entire picture, if you look, one word that comes to you. Hello? You can hear me? Okay, fine. So if you look at this overall picture, what comes to the mind is, this is the twilight. Twilight? Twilight, okay. So if I say twilight, many people do not recognize except for that movie. You know, the very popular Hollywood movie. It's a came in series altogether. But how many people have seen this twilight? Very rare. The only person I have seen talking was Mr. Akshay Kumar, you know, the famous Bollywood actor. He says, I have never missed to see a sunlight in my life, sunrise in my life. Sunrise, right? So he is an early riser, correct? And you know what popularly said is, you have heard of the Brahmi Muhurta? Brahma Muhurta. Okay. If you go to Tirupati, they wake up that god at 2:30. So people believe 2:30 is Brahmi Muhurta. Somebody said, if you go to Tamil Nadu, the first train starts at 4 o'clock or 4:30. So that is Brahmi Muhurta. Correct? So the Brahmi Muhurta is different to different people. And if you look astronomically, there are 3 twilights there. Correct? So the astronomical twilight, nautical twilight, and civil twilight. Civil twilight is what we have seen, it's said to be twilight. This is astronomical twilight, and every twilight stages has got 28 minutes, and put together it is somewhere like 90 minutes. Roughly around 90 minutes is what is the Brahmi Muhurta, before the actual sun which rises on the horizon. And it is a very popular saying that a statement said in Indian wisdom said, Brahmi, I'm sorry, I will use some Sanskrit words, so I hope you can follow because Sanskrit is an Indian vernacular language. Brahmi Muhurta Uttishte Swastho Rakshartha Mayusha. So meaning is that if you get up in the morning in the Brahmi Muhurta, that is the time you can protect your swastha. Swastha is health, wellness, and so on and so forth. Correct? People said, I'm a night owl. Correct? I don't get up rise. There are different people say early riser, a night owl, and so on and so forth. What is right in the different people and different things? Yes, okay. Is there a reason for this? Is there a meaning for this to say that you get up in the morning like this? Here you can see. The recent study in the University of Exeter in London has done the genome of 600,000 people and then found that early risers are less likely to develop mental health problems. Very simple. Very simple. You know, mental health problem is a big pandemic now is going to be in the world. Mental health. That's why you see that WHO is just harping more on, focusing more on mental health rather than forget about heart disease, forget about diabetes, forget about everything else. This is very important. This is going to kill the humanity. And the study says they are less likely to develop mental issues. That's why it is called as Brahmi Muhurta. Brahma means creator. Brahma means creator, no? All Indians will say only one word for Brahma, that is creator. Nobody says he is a four-headed freak. Correct. So, Creator means what? You are your Brahma, you are going to create your day. That's the time when you get up. If you get up at 6 o'clock, what can you do? Already 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, already, oh, it's late for me to catch a metro, train, bus, this and that, and miss everything. Miss everything. Some people even forget to miss to brush the teeth as well. Is it in a rush? Okay. You know this one. A famous, legendary voice, right? Her recording is said to be a Guinness record, and this one is claimed so much enough. It's a panacea for all ills. Ayurveda says, if you recite this, your temperature, body temperature will come down. Can you imagine this? Recite, forget it. I don't know Sanskrit, I can't recite and all this. At least hear the video, the audio tape or whatever it is. And this, the recent study which says and shows that there is a beneficial effect of this Vishnu Sahasranama chanting on stress, cognition and autonomic functions. Okay? Depression, anxiety, stress and cortisol levels were significantly decreased, blood pressure was regulated within normal limits, and the mini mental state examination scores and spatial memory were significantly improved, followed by chanting. So it is not just a ritual, it is a science, it's a practice. Okay. Recently in Africa, you can see that this particular study, wherein this mantram practice, hearing, chanting, positively associated with the quality of life, total existence, existential, spiritual well-being, meaning, peace and spiritual faith, unique contributions to managing psychological distress and enhancing existential spiritual well-being in adults living with HIV and AIDS. Can you imagine that it has a profound effect on healing? You know, there is a popular wisdom said, a ritual in eating. You know, recently, anybody from Kerala can recognize this plate? Sadyam. Onam Sadyam. Exactly. Varieties, you know, so many numbers they count. What the traditional wisdom says is, if one sits after food intake, it results in dullness, drowsiness and laziness. If one sleeps after food intake, it nourishes him and may increase his weight, if they sleep immediately. If one walks after food, it bestows longevity. And if one runs after food, it leads to death or diseases. Is there a belief in this wisdom? Yes, you believe that? And so is this what it shows. Advice to walk after meals is more effective for lowering postprandial glycemia in type 2 diabetes. What else is required? It's quite a struggle. In the latest issue in the diabetology, the benefits relating to physical activity following meals suggested that the current guidelines should be amended to specify post-meal activity, particularly when meals contain a substantial amount of carbohydrates. And in the recent ones, the Journal of Hypertension, the guided walking reduces blood pressure in hypertensive sedentary subjects, including those in resistant hypertension. And the CDC gives that recommendation guidelines for Americans, that 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise at least 5 days per week by completing 3 10 minutes walk per day following meals, one can easily meet this guideline. Okay? So, this traditional wisdom, what we had for ages, so people had ignored it, probably. It was all to only pharmacotherapy that everyone was stuck to, glued to, rather than how we need to address our life, living. Correct? And that was even, you know, the health benefits, a lot of things, you know, after meals, digestion, metabolism, blood sugar, triglyceride, weight loss, mood, bloating, gastritis, glucose levels, mineral absorption as well. So many things. Lot of benefit. Walking. That's why it is said in tradition, after a meal you have to walk shatapatham. That is 100 steps. 100 steps you have to place. Soon after. Don't eat and sit. in one and glued to the TV and watch hours together. And this wisdom, which is all collated together, is what is called as Ayurveda. If you look, what Ayurveda is, as I told you beginning, Ayurveda means medicine, treatment, diagnosis, and so on and so forth. Is that true? Definitely not. You know this Sanskrit word, Ayus and Veda, Ayurveda, if you go to Greek, bios and logos, what is called as biology, and life science, and today whatever, the life science, bioscience, biology, science of life, and so on and so forth. If you look at it, the word biology first ever used on this earth was by Indians, called as Ayurveda. Biology was non-existent anywhere in the world. Biology came only in 1799. First time used, biologia. Correct? So Ayurveda means biology. Ayurveda is not a medicine. Ayurveda means not medicine. Ayurveda is biology. Please understand this. Okay? It's a life science, science of life. Fine. When we say there are two words, Ayus and Veda, what is Ayus? What is life? If you ask the question, what is life? People say life is living, life is breathing, life is having cardiovascular function, cognition, so on and so forth. So Ayurveda gives a definition that there are four components for life to exist. One is, of course, its body, obviously. Is it enough? The body is living, but others are not existent. What is that? What is the purpose of life for a blind man? Correct? For a deaf. Forget about it. For the one who is in coma. What is the purpose of life? Body is alive. So that's why the indriyas, the senses, 5 special senses are very important. These are our actually the ambassadors for us from the internal world to the external world. What we see, we digest, we understand what we hear, and so on and so forth, as you can see. The second component. The third component is, of course, the mind. Without the mind, if you don't mind, nothing else. And the most important thing is self. Self is very important. The soul, self, or whatever. The combination of all these four together is what is called as life, per se. It's not only the body that should function with all the attached life supporting systems alone. These are very together, is what put together is what is called as life. The second word, Veda, if you look how closely the Veda is. If you say Veda, it's an ancient knowledge, a traditional knowledge, traditional system, and so on and so forth. Is that true? If you look at the word, Veda is nothing but science. Veda means to know, the knowledge, and science is nothing more than that. Science is absolutely knowing and the knowledge. That's what is, the word science is derived by the English terminology. So Veda is science. So Ayurveda is science of life. And if you look, this word Ayurveda was first used in English in 1788, okay, by the book on Asiatic Research, and in 2002 it introduced into Oxford English Dictionary. And at that time, many people fought the editors of this most important compendium of English language. They said this is not an English word. How did you include this into this Oxford English Dictionary? And you have polluted it. Then the editor said this was because it was very popular and so much in general that people are using it around the world at that time as well. And although the Wikipedia defines what the biology is, the source is said to be the beginning, Ayurveda, and then Egyptian medicine, then works of Aristotle and Galen, and the ancient Greco-Roman world. Good that they have given recognition to that biology was stemmed out of Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is biology. Okay. The life, as Ayurveda defines, there are 4 types of lives. 4 types of living beings on this earth. Whoever you can classify, it's not geographically, it is by nature. What is that? One is called Sukhayu, who is a happy life. Sukha means health. Can you imagine what better happiness that you have than having health? Can anything else give you happiness? Only the one who is suffering from a disease knows what is happiness. That is what is Ayurveda says. Happiness is nothing but healthiness. And the opposite of that is Dukkhayu, one who is, this is obviously. This is not enough. This is only for my personal level. But for the social level, the societal level, as you have seen that you Rotarians are concerned with the society as well. So there are two classes of people that you can find. One who is hitayu, who are beneficial to life. They help the society, they help the environment, they help the underprivileged and so on and so forth. Other ones who are, as you know very well, who is called as ahitayu, who are baneful life. So are always causing trouble to society. These are the only 4 types of people that you find. So hence, Ayurveda, what does it do? It is a science that advises naturally on what is happier or healthier aspects to happy and healthy life, favorable factors for the beneficial life, then measures that affects the span of life. You see, it gives you guidelines on what shortens your life, what lengthens your life. Correct? So worry, depression, etc. shortens life, and happiness and freedom lengthens life. Right? Span of life. And life-giving and life-threatening factors. So just now we saw, even eating, soon after eating, if you run, one may collapse. So what to do, what not to do is what that Ayurveda talks about. The material substances, food, everything that affect the life and their qualities and benefits. What are their benefits, what are their qualities, how to identify them, so on and so forth. All this knowledge what that gives is what is Ayurveda. Okay, that's the original reference. This Ayurveda, when we said science of life, is it applicable only to human beings? Definitely not. When we say Ayurveda, always human being comes first, because we are the almost the top of the living beings on this earth to hold everything into our control. So we want to take the benefit of Ayurveda first for ourselves. But is it true? Ayurveda was not restricted only to this Vriksha Ayurveda for plants. Okay, you know today organic culture, or once upon a time it was called as the Japanese tradition of that treating plants, keeping them miniature, bonsai. The knowledge that stemmed out was actually from this. And in fact, you know, as students of botany, the plants are classified by family and so on and so forth. The knowledge of how to classify a plant was written in India 2000 years ago, 1700 years before the father of the botany, Linnaeus, was born. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay, that's not enough. That other life, can you forget this life? The so-called our pet life or whatever it is. Okay, livestock and so on and so forth. That was Pashu Ayurveda. The Ayurveda for animals. You know, there were so many famous veterinarians. You have heard of Mahabharata? And the success behind this, secret behind the success of Pandavas, only 3 of them fought. The other 2 did not fight the battle, right now? What were they doing? Sitting and eating. They were the strength for them to fight. Why? Both of them were veterinarians. Both of them were veterinarians looking after all that equestrian troop and elephant troop and so on and so forth. They wrote books at that time about the disease, diagnosis and treatment of animals. And even today, if you are from a very remote place from India, in India and from the villages, etc., that you can see that the cattle treatment, always the village head or the seniors in the villages treat animals than allowing a veterinarian, qualified veterinarian to come into. You know that one? And thankfully that most of the veterinarians also are quite a good proponents in applying natural therapy to animals as well. And that's how it is. So Ayurveda means not only applicable to human beings, but also to the plants, also to this. So today what we call organic agriculture stems out from that. How to nourish the plant to give you a good yield of nutrients and everything. Why and how this knowledge of Ayurveda was originated? It was obvious for a obvious reason that people saw, it's called as Maharshis. Maharshis means scientists. Maharshis need not be that one who has long beard and tucked hair and all that. No. Maharshi means those who are concerned with the society. And who are concerned with the society? Obviously scientists. Day and day out work how to make society live healthy and happy. And they saw that people are suffering from diseases, etc. So we need to find out a solution for this. And then they saw that this knowledge was at a higher level. The higher level of beings knew this knowledge, and that we have to bring it out to the common man. That's how they worked hard, bring in, and that's how you have big gamut of Maharshis who wrote books on different aspects, which I'll brief you later. But however, this the problem that affected life was affecting the health of individuals, right? Health is, everyone is born with health. Hardly any small percentages are having any disease since they are born. But after having born, the four important achievements, pursuits that one needs to have is what? To discharge one's duties, and then earn that wealth, fulfill all that wishes, and the freedom from the miseries. All these are possible only by health. If health is affected, nothing is possible. Correct? If one is not healthy, and if he applies leave for more than a month, then he is asked to leave. Correct? Similarly, so these people saw that the knowledge was at a higher level, so that they need to bring that knowledge down to the earth for the benefit of the people. That's how they codified this science called as Ayurveda, and that's how we have this knowledge today. What is the objective of this science? Only two. One is to preserve the health of the healthy. The second one is to cure the disease of the disease. Everyone knows Ayurveda is for the second reason, but not for the first reason, unfortunately. Not for the first reason. That's why I wanted to show you here what it means. The preserve the health of the healthy is all about. Thus, if you want to call it, classify Ayurveda as, Ayurveda is one aspect of Ayurveda. Ayurveda means bioscience, and Ayurvedic medicine is that biomedical science. So biomedical science is different, bioscience is different. So bioscience is for everyone else. Everyone need to learn, understand, and absorb and apply to their lives. That is for them. This is a common man's knowledge, and this is for exclusively the practitioners and the specialists that they need to, as a medical, scientists and all. Let us look at this bioscience aspect of this one. As I told you, the foundation for achieving all these fourfold purusharthas, as we said, duty, wealth, and the desire, and the freedom, the moksha. You have heard of these four words, right? You always think this is only philosophical. So one who stands with one leg will go into this last part. Correct? What do you mean by this moksha? Moksha is not anywhere else, here only. The freedom from disease is moksha. As simple as that. As simple as that. Freedom from disease is a moksha. To go elsewhere beyond this. So what is the foundation for this is health. If you don't have health, you can't achieve any of this. That is very well known. What is this health or wellness? There is a word called as swasthya used. Okay. Now I'll define what is arogya. Arogya, and there is swasthya. Now, fortunately, thankfully, all the ministry in English, in Hindi is called as swasthya mantralaya. Correct? It is not arogya mantralaya. It is swasthya mantralaya. Although it is in English called as health. That misnomer anyway. But however, wellness is the right word, because that is where you are into yourself. Swasthya means swasthya, that you stay in your own self, however you are born with. So how it is, the Ayurveda describes that there is a balanced doshas, then healthy digestion, proper functioning of the tissues and the elimination system, and most importantly, mental and spiritual well-being. These are the four important factors to call it as you are healthy. You have to check this list. So is there, the doshas are balanced? I'll tell you a little later. You have heard of these doshas, right? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Correct? People, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, immediately they think the Vata, Pitta, Kapha is only that which is pathological. If you cough out, it is Kapha. So he's bringing out Kapha. If he brings out sputum. Okay, if he vomits and have a burning sensation in the stomach, they call it as pitta. It's burning. And if they start leaving flatus or farting, it's called as vata. No, that is pathological. I'll tell you what it is subsequently. And most importantly is, we are leaving. Why are we leaving? Somebody said we are leaving to eat. Are we leaving to eat? Eating to live. Correct? No? This is very popularly said. Eating to live. If you are eating to live, that whatever that is eaten has to be digested. No, this is not a just machine. You put it here and it comes out there. You put it here, it comes out there. No, it cannot happen like that. Correct? It has to be properly digested. Digestion means the nutrients are divided and then there is a metabolism. It gets absorbed and then it has to be eliminated. Nourishes these tissues and then there is an elimination system as well. You know very well, the elimination system, if you say, one simple thing, constipation, you know constipation, right? Do you know how much money that human beings are spending just to relieve one simple constipation? I said word simple constipation, sir. You don't know the problem. The constipation is so big. And you are saying simple. But it is truly simple by the definition of health, and it has to happen every day. If it is not happening every day, it's a problem. And for that, the spending money is, how much do you know? $7 billion. $7 billion, you know how much, what we can do for our India or even some small countries or somewhere else. For just simple constipation, people are spending for the products, drugs. Anyway, okay. Dosha. I just want to clarify here, look at very carefully. This is not what dosha, what means it means, that futum and vomitus and then flatus, etc. They are bioenergies that affect biology, then characteristic. Today, or yesterday, 22nd, yesterday, the Ayush minister declared, you have seen that somewhere recently. So it's a big program, a project that's coming up everywhere. So the entire country is mapping of types, body types, constitution or the character. Each one of us are built by the influence of these three factors called as doshas, and they are going to map. That's a big project like a genome, human genome project is what is dosha. Prakriti project is coming up in a big way. And then they affect nutrition, and even they also modulate this, they are modulated by the medicaments. Then they also influence in pathology that everybody knows now. And then also they influence in diagnosis, how a diagnosis is made so that the pathology can be corrected, and also the therapeutics. So they influence all these factors together, and dosha is such a vast concept. Okay, so it's not limited to any of this. I want you to get this clarified very clearly. And how these doshas are balanced by a human being, leave alone the medical doctors will take care of that, how to correct the pathology. But normally to keep that balance, because it is not always a constant. As you know, that health is not a constant, because time is not a constant, season is not a constant, because it keeps on revolving and the year passes on and we get aged, correct? We don't stay the same way as we were born. So these doshas to be balanced, there are 4 factors that one has to consider. Diets influence the balancing of doshas. Then the lifestyle influences the balancing of the doshas. Then herbal remedies, very well known. If you take the dry grapes, it pacifies your pitta. And if you take pepper, it pacifies your kapha. And if you take jeera or your ajwain, it pacifies your vata. Very simple, just to understand. That's herbal remedies. Then the mind-body practices also that vata can be. So one simple thing is, if one is agitated, unable to calm down, what is called as anxiety and etc. To bring down his mind-body practices obviously controls vata. Vata was responsible for making you jump up and run. Now look at this WHO definition of health now. 50 years ago they defined health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being and not merely absence of disease and infirmity. It took thousands of years for us to define what is health. And look at this, Ayurveda defined this much before. Okay. There is one important concept that we need to understand, that we are living on the earth, right? And can you imagine how much of the conditions that it is not conducive for living that Sunita Williams is undergoing? Can you imagine? She has lost so many things, we don't know what will happen till February. Correct? Fortunately, we are living on this earth. And we have to understand that we are connected to this earth. Whatever the changes that happens on the earth influences us, correct? No? Why do we get up in the morning and why don't we go to sleep in the morning? What our Silicon Valley of Bangalore is doing it. Correct? What will happen, you have seen? And our cardiologists know very well, the population from that region, 25 years plus, you have a myocardial infarction. 25 years, sir. Can you imagine? 25 years is the age for myocardial infarction. What is called as heart attack or whatever. We are not connected. Ayurveda says we are always connected. This body is connected to the universe. Whatever the factors that are there here, they influence us. That's very, very important. That's why we say today what we have to live with nature. Correct? We have to live with the nature. That's why people run away from the cities to go to the nature, resorts, and places like that. So we are influenced by the day-night cycle. Earth will not stop revolving, so we have to bear this. Then naturally, Earth is going around Sun, so there is a seasonal variation. The winter started here. 3 months ago it was so rainy, and 6 months ago it was so hot. And due to this, there is always a biorhythm of these doshas keeps on changing. So we have to watch this, what's happening outside and so inside. Okay, that's what is a very important concept, that we are influenced by the environment, that we need to keep in very close contact with that, what changes that it is bringing. For this reason, to bring that balance is what that beautiful package of practice that was described by Ayurveda, what is called as dinacharya, daily routine. Okay, which is a very essential part for keeping ourselves balanced with the nature. So I said before, getting up it's in order, one after the other, not you can reverse anywhere else. Okay, then the cleansing ritual, obviously one cannot just walk out of the bed just like that. Okay, then oral hygiene, very important. All these, you have heard of oil pulling, etc., Russian practice, popularly known much before here being practiced by Indians. Then this one, very important, excretory functions, evacuation, etc. Imagine that constipation, what I said, no? Constipation is because of missing this cycle. So one gets an urge, what is called as natural urge, correct? What we call as bio break. Today, a natural urge is removed and we say, can I take a bio break? It's a more decent word. Okay, this bio break, the urge when it comes in the middle of the meeting in the morning at 11 o'clock, can you get up and go? No, you can't go. And if you can't go, or if you don't go, then what will happen? That urge is stopped. What will happen? That the vicious cycle starts, and then the constipation rests. So bowel movement, very, very important. And you know very well today, the colon cancer is a big issue out in the West. At least we are eating a lot of other herbaceous, roughages, etc. And that we are able to meet our bowel movements better, but still, due to Western lifestyle, we are almost losing it. We should not. That's where we have to ensure that it happens. Then physical exercise. Very well, everyone says, I'm doing yoga. Yoga is not as simple as that. I'm doing only yogasana. Please say yogasana. I'm doing yogasana, but you're not doing yoga. Other remaining 7 parts of yoga are not done. Ashtanga yoga, you heard of that one? Okay, all that which comes from within, yama, niyama, pranayama, many of them, even pranayama is also one of the important things, but only yoga, asana is done. That's why they have done yoga completely. And they become yoga guru also. Hey, nay. Yoga guru is very difficult to. All the 8 parts, that takes a long time in the life. But anyway, the physical exercise, walking, etc., this is very well. Then after that is body massage. See, a beautiful concept that is said in Ayurveda is, Abhyanga. Have you heard of this word called as Abhyanga? Anybody? So just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, end of October, 1st of November, I think so. Yeah, we had a big festival of India. The whole world was celebrating. Even White House was celebrating. Correct? So only when Diwali comes, not much in North India, I think so, but more in South India, when Diwali comes, there should be a oil massage. Correct, no? Oil bath. So the common man says oil bath. Correct, no? Oil bath. Only on Diwali day, they remember oil bath. Any other day ask? No. Some people down in South also does it in the other cycle. What is that? New Year day, Yugadi. Correct? On Yugadi or on Diwali. Finish. The rest of the year, forgotten. Ayurveda says, Abhyangam acharet nitya. Very simple, easy to understand. Correct? Abhyangam achared nitya. Then if you follow the practice of Abhyanga every day, sa jara shrama vataha. Three. Still benefits are there. It's a big thing. Let me not go. At least these three understand. Sa jara shrama vataha. Jara is what? Aging. Shrama is what? Stress. Vataha, anxiety and other mental issues. Okay? This is controlled by one simple tip is called as this Abhyanga, which has to be followed every day. Oh, where is that? Or even to follow once in a year or once in 6 months itself is difficult. People run away. And where is it possible now? And it is so beautiful that Japanese have established what is the effect of this Abhyanga massage. Okay? Touch research is made a big change. That's why, very simple. Baby, if it's crying, mother does only one thing, which father does not do, is that patting the back. Correct? No. Father says, hey, don't cry, don't cry. He will not stop crying. Only mother will stop doing this. And that touch makes it, your anxiety comes down. And that has to happen every day, and that is. And if you can't do it the whole day, sir, hey, what is this you are saying? Abhyangam Acharaniti every day, you apply all the day in the Diwali and the Yugadi, you are doing it and it takes half an hour to 45 minutes to 1 hour and so on and so forth. No. Just 3 parts. Shira, Stravana, soul and pada. Hands and soul. If you apply, that's enough. Apply oil, sit comfortably. Foot massage, Chinese says reflexology and everything and all that. If you do it every day, all reflexology, everything comes into the picture. That's enough. You do it in the morning, have a shower and go. That's very important. Okay. Then, bathing. So we always say, did you take bath? Everybody said, I took bath. No one has taken bath. I tell you, entire people here have not taken bath today. Hey, what are you saying? You have taken bath. No, you have taken shower. You know the difference? Ayurveda differentiates these two. You have taken shower but not bath. Where is the water available in supplies? What supplies in Bangalore to take a bath? Bath is a tub bath. You have established tub in the our bathroom, that's all. We have not used at all. How many of us have used? Where is enough water to drown itself? See, drowning this body in water stimulates myriad functions in the body, endocrine, everything. Stimulates a lot. We don't have that. Only people who are very highly rich having a swimming pool, etc. is okay. That's a different issue. But not for a common man. It's always take a bucket of water and pour. That is a shower. Shower effect is different. Bath effect is different. So bathing is very important. And prayers and spiritual practices and meditation, very, very important. So the lot of researches which I showed before also is very important. Then the meals. It's a big, see actually each and everything takes each 1 hour, more than an hour to describe what is each of them. Just I'm giving the bird's eye view for the want of time. The meals, such a detailed prescription that Ayurveda literatures write on how to take, what time to take a meal. People say, it's a stroke of the hour, 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock, whatever it is. It is fixed. No, that's not the right thing. Because each and everyone's physiology changes, so that there are few signs and symptoms when you have to eat food, when you should not eat food. All those critical details. The frequency, people say, just let us snack. Okay? Anytime, every time. Okay? Let us snack. It's not a good practice. And there is a ritual, eating ritual as well. Consider that eating ritual, eating is putting food into fire, like putting articles into fire, doing a homam. Homam? It is considered to be as similar as that, offering to God. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, I am there in your stomach as a Agni, and then whatever that you lick, eat, dry, whatever, drink, etc., I am going to digest. He said, correct? No. And so that you are offering to that. And how to offer that, there is a particular way. And if you offer like that, your digestion, pakka. Physiologically, you can ensure that one. And then sequencing also. Something like, one simple example I give you, when you start your meal, generally, all the status, when you start a meal, you start with the roti and whatnot else. And ends with dessert. So that is what today has happened, that desert has deserted us. Correct? Today everyone is afraid. Sweet, oh, sweets, diabetes. No, I can't touch. Unfortunately, it has to be reversed. Ayurveda says first eat the dessert, sweet, and end with salad. Okay. When I was giving this talk, the entire detail, it's a big topic by itself. Let us see. I was giving to the doctors in Germany. One of the chief of that hospital, he got up and said, "Is it your view? Is it your thought? You know how to sequence? What is that sequence? Sequence is like this. First, you have to use the sweet. Okay. Then you have to start. The next one to take is sour. Taste by taste, you can recognize. Taste sour, salt. Then this pungent, the spicy. Okay. Then the bitter. The last one is the astringent, which is like salad or you know the masarana, tair sadam, masarana. You end with masarana. You don't start with masarana and ends with dessert. No. So if you do this, physiologically your glycemic control is established. And that doctor had done, you know, the Western food is reversed. No, start with a salad, which is astringent with all these toppings, and ends with the dessert. He reversed it, and he found, he did a study more than 300 patients. He was a cardiologist, but he was interested in this one. And then he found a good glycemic response by these people who reversed it, the Germans. And he said, I believe this concept. I thought it was your own. You did that study. No. I said this thousands of years. Ayurveda said. I'm just describing it. That's all. So that is what it is. It's a big sequencing as well. Then, of course, most importantly is that Ayurveda describes mindful working. See, there are people who studied Ayurveda in Germany. I could see that they have written book in Ayurveda in business. How Ayurveda concepts can be brought in successful businesses. Books are there in German. You can just still, they are not still translated, but they use it a lot there. Then hydration, Ayurveda talks about the water, when to take water, how to take water, what is the temperature, in what season, so on and so forth. A lot of difference. Restorative practices, digital detox, very important today. That's very, very important. How to detoxify yourself from your senses from outside. That's what is digital detox for today. And then reflection and gratitude. Before going to sleep, one should not just fall and then sleep off. Just sit back, analyze how much we have affected the lives of others in the society today, how much satisfied we are, and we go to sleep. Then you get a good sleep. Otherwise, if you are worried, my boss said something, he was a nut and a crack, and he irritated me, and this and that, that's a problem. Then the sleep and the night routine also. Night routine, what one needs to do, the married people as well. So that's a very important, big routine. It's a big information as well. So this gives you actually getting your aligned into a natural rhythm. You're into the nature's rhythm. Then it's a holistic health approach all together, mind, body, senses, and soul as well. And then the digestion metabolism improved, and then stress reduction, then physical health it will promote, and spiritual growth and mindfulness and adaptability to individual needs. Everything is met. Otherwise, we are left with always unmet needs are very many across all, right from money to everything. When I said this is for a day, every 24-hour cycle is this. But there is what is called as we live in season, which is for 12 months. Ayurveda describes what each season has to, that one has to follow. Okay, I'm not going to the details of that for the want of time. But one tip I'll give you, please follow this. This is a very important thing that we need to capture in life. Memorize this very well. Who is going to be healthy? Who is free from the disease? Alternative question. Who is going to be free from the disease? What are that? One who partakes wholesome food and lifestyle. That's very important. You are not into a lopsided one. I eat only sweets. I only eat only spicy. No. It should be wholesome and lifestyle as well. Then acts after investigation. That's very important. We need to always analyze and see whether it is good for me, bad for me. Even while eating, you need to analyze, is this food good for me, bad for me at this time, not tomorrow or yesterday. Okay? Then not falling unduly for sensual pleasures. Just like that, I want to buy that one at any cost. No. If it is not possible today, wait for some time. Don't jump into that mindset that you are behind that. And who is a giver or a benefactor. That's very important. One who gives. One who gives. Today the new members, she was so generous enough to offer whatever that they have earned. And imagine what is the amount of happiness that they have in the heart that I have given this to today. Then equable, neutral or impartial. That we don't consider, hey, you are uneducated, I am educated, I am sophisticated, you are unsophisticated. No, you are also a human being. Come in, you want anything, you want to enjoy, we will offer you. Share with us. Given up, something like it is so very well said, we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we share. Correct? We make a life by what we share. Then, given up to the truth and thoroughly honest. That's very important. We have to be. Why should we hide anything? Why should we close anything? Then enduring and bearable and tolerable. That's very important. Tolerance is the most important thing. Today, the entire problem is because I don't tolerate you sitting next to me. Why? What happens? He will also sit. Your seat is there and his seat is there. What's the problem? Then, in service of the credible people, friends and elders, most importantly, it's so beautifully said, aptopa sevi. You have to serve the elders. And today, what is called as retirement age, the whole concept is changing. Retirement age is not for leaving the job. There is now a concept out in the East where there is a job for retired people. The retired people are being brought back into the job. There is a very important thing. Keep them fit and active, and respecting to them is what is important. If one has this frame of work, frame of mind to do all this, and he is actually engaged in this one, your rest is assured, you are healthy. Then you don't have to do anything else. Okay. I'll run through this in 5 minutes, sir. You have just 5 minutes? Yeah. Just 5 minutes. I'll just run through for the benefit of others who believe that Ayurveda is only medical science and we go for only treatment, etc. This is one part of it, which is it's just in a tip of the iceberg. We can say I have shown you what the bioscience of part of the Ayurveda is. The biomedical science, I'll just show you. For the people who believe that Ayurveda is not scientific, it does not have any methods to diagnose, there is no scientific method, etc., etc. And then with the evidences I will show you. Just give your attention for the want of time for the next 5 to 10 minutes quickly. Okay, the biomedical science. The precept of this biomedical science is this. This biomedical science talks about only 3 things to understand, and all physicians who want to undertake this course to understand is how to understand the etiology of a disease, then what are the symptomatology, the diagnosis of the disease, and then the pharmacotherapeutics of the disease. That's all, only 3 things. If pharmacotherapeutic includes surgery, everything, altogether, treatment, basically, are the 3 triparts of the knowledge of medical science, is what Ayurveda says, and which is even today also the fact. For a success of treatment, medicine alone is not responsible. Medicine alone cannot give. It's the 4 factors that they describe. The best physician who prescribes the best drug and which is being nursed by the best nurse, and most importantly, one's own responsibility, the patient who cooperates. Imagine he misses out, the success is not there. Very simple. These are the 4 quadruples of the treatment, success of the treatment. Then clinical medicine, exclusively how to diagnose a patient and the disease. Disease and the diseased. 2 of them have to be considered. It's a big area. You can see, including all these routine examinations, including, you have seen that pulse. The pulse examination is a big science that people have mastered it over a period of time in Ayurveda before. But Ayurveda also has got specialities. Look at this. As early as the Ayurveda, when the medical science was written, these are the specialities developed, and even today you see these are the broad-based structure for a medical disciplines and specialities today. Internal medicine, surgery, otorhinolaryngology, ENT, what was called as ENT. Today, ENT is no more ENT. Everywhere it is called as otorhinolaryngology. That's what he said, Chalakya at that time. Then it is actually pediatrics built in with gynecology, because the healthy child, healthy offspring is a very important thing for Ayurveda rather than caring for mother and the before. If that care, automatically this is obvious. So this is the end result of that. So you embed it with obstetrics and gynecology, and the psychiatry, toxicology, and most importantly is this gerontology. See, geriatrics is a very important aspect today than ever before, as you can see that more people are living longer, okay, and they're getting older, and then caring for them is very important. That's why the gerontology was a discipline which was born today, very recently, than what it was before. It was a discipline in Ayurveda as well. And then most importantly is that the virility, the andrology that we talk about for a man to be strong enough to get the next race of a quality offspring to bring in. There are different types of treatment. Let me not go into the details of that. But this is very important, which is very popularly known, is the Panchakarma. Ayurveda means Panchakarma, and somebody was asking me recently, Ayurveda means only Kerala Ayurveda, but others are not Ayurveda or what? So Kerala have branded it as a Kerala Ayurveda, but doesn't mean it is exclusive. Only that others do not know about this, which is a very popular thing. And this is very important. The surgery, the Sushruta, even today, the Royal College of Surgeons in England and in Australia, you have the bust of Sushruta kept in the foray of the society of Sushruta, because they write here was the man in India who did everything that is possible in that remotest time, the surgical methods, which is the principle today that we follow. Look at this. 8 types of surgical steps that he has described, even today is the same. Instruments are different, technology is different. Today, what robots are doing is the same thing, nothing else. You have to excise, incise, scrap, and all these things. The surgical method that he was able to do that at that remotest time without anything. So there are a lot of evidences people are asking for. This is one of the latest one to bring you, published just this month in November, on effect of Ayurveda-based Panchakarma lifestyle modification in global longitudinal strain in cardiac disorder patients. Look at this. This Panchakarma therapy and lifestyle modification improved a lot of factors, including ejection fraction as well as improved weight loss together. And this is another evidence published last year, 2023, in the diabetes, how this Ayurveda Panchakarma and preparations work. And then Nasya, the Panchakarma is also, Panchakarma is vomiting, then purgation, then enema, then instilling into the nose called as Nasya. Nasya means, don't imagine that people were inhaling the tobacco. No, that's a very bad practice. That is not Nasya. Unfortunately, this word is added into that. This is a very therapeutic method. Even, migraine, for example, which is a very menace people are suffering from, this modality helps a lot to overcome that. And then some of these the evidences I just wanted to give to you, that it is not evidenceless. It's not just a practice just like that, just to give a glimpse of that. And many of these which have become the offering from India, the pride of India, that this ashwagandha is one of them. Turmeric went first, then ashwagandha went. And because of this popularity and the benefit this one, then obviously the whole world work on against somebody who becomes popular and beneficial to the society. They want to pull their leg, obviously. And so bringing in disgrace to many of them, unfortunately. But still, they survive because of their natural value and benefit that it has. Ashwagandha, this amla, this amla. So it was the recent studies, very recent studies, which shows a lot of benefit in cardiovascular system and many things. Okay. And then this one is the Brahmi. There are a lot of, and that too in Iran. The studies not only in India. These are not the studies done by only Indians. Also, you can see the authors from various countries outside India as well. This is another one published recently, last October. And Tulsi, very well. It's such a very invaluable thing. Tulsi and Ashwagandha, they are the two important things that one has to have. Tulsi in the front and Ashwagandha is inside. Okay, for beating stress, mood, sleep, and everything. Okay. Then there are a lot of systematic reviews, etc. Then Ayurveda Rasayana, the gerontology, as you can see, a lot of, even in oncology, how to apply them, etc. A lot of studies, not only here from multicentric US, India, as well. Thus, friends, one important principle that is described in the very first book of Ayurveda is that there is no limitation for Ayurveda. Nachaiva asti sutaram Ayurvedasya param. There is no limit for Ayurveda. Ayurveda is not limited to India. Ayurveda is not limited to only to the ancient knowledge. It is a continuous flowing stream that whatever that is latest one is absorbed is still Ayurveda. Why? Because it affects biology. Ayurveda is biology, as you know very well. So one has to always be open enough, and openness to learn. If somebody says, no, whatever that is said in ancient time is only Ayurveda, whatever you are talking today is not Ayurveda, what is future is not Ayurveda, they are against the spirit of Ayurveda being past, present and future to be absorbed for what benefits the humanity, and that this Ayurveda is for. Thank you very much for the attention listening. I'm sorry if...
I'm tempted to move away from the minute-to-minute agenda of the meeting. I'm wanting to thank him before the official vote of thanks comes. So thank you so much. And I didn't know that simple and profound can be used in the same context. Such a simple language that everybody could understand, but yet so deeply profound. Thank you so much, sir. We are privileged to have you here. Can I request our Honorary Secretary to deliver the formal vote of thanks?
Sir, please sit down. Thank you very much, Dr. Rangesh, for the awesome talk. Good evening once again, all of you. I know standing between you and dinner, but I'll not take too much time. I'm sure this was a very interesting topic, and I just wanted to reflect a couple of things here. In a lighter vein, you saw the dinacharya that he shared, right? What are the things that we are supposed to do in a particular sequence from morning till evening? Number 4 was about bowel. I don't know if you all observe this. I have this big problem with my children. Youngsters, so most of us, right, we are all systematic. We do this once every day in the morning, more or less in the same sequence that he shared. But I see that both my children, especially this bowel thing, they do it all over the day, at all different points in time. The sequence is just not followed. And not just that, digital detox, sleep, reflection and gratitude. I think these are things that most of us, don't follow with or without our knowledge. And one thing I want to tell you, Dr. Rangesh, is that you had a slide called Who is Healthy, right, in your presentation. And the one who is healthy is also one who is a giver and a benefactor. I want to share with you, sir, that I'm very proud to say every Rotarian in this room is a very big giver and a benefactor, right? We all take a lot of pride in Midtown. That's one of the things that we are very, very passionate about. We are generous, we are passionate, we are compassionate, we are very empathetic towards people who don't have the privilege that we all have. And we do a lot of projects in various areas. So probably one of the reasons why it's easier for us to be healthy and happy is because we give. Right? Giving is so important, right? So I'm sure all of you enjoyed this talk, but I should tell you that the person we should recall who got us to Dr. Rangesh is none other than our own Rotarian Farooq Muhammad. Thank you very much, Farooq Bhai, for getting us this introduction, without which you would not have been able to hear him. So I would request you to please come up on stage and hand over the memento to Dr. Rangesh Paramesh. On behalf of the entire Rotary Bangalore Midtown family, thank you very much, Dr. Rangesh, once again for this awesome talk. Uh, Thank you all Rotarians. I would also like to thank our guests. For a change, we have quite a few people outside of Midtown members also who are participating in this today, especially Dr. Satyavati. Uh, Thank you very much for taking town, ma'am. She is a big partner for Midtown in conducting all our health camps. Today, thank you for being here, ma'am. And thanks, everyone. Please join us for dinner. Thank you. Good night. Oh, yeah. Sorry, we forgot one very important thing, which is something that we follow. Please stand up for the national anthem before we call it.
शुभ आशीष मा